Okay, Othello, Act 5. So scene 1 starts out with Iago and Rodrigo, and they're going to kill Cassio. That's the plan. So, and then in a short of this exchange, we get Iago talking to himself and how he doesn't really care who dies, because he owes Rodrigo money, and Cassio would tell he would expose the lies that Iago's told. So Iago doesn't care who dies, and what he'd really prefer is if both died. So what happens is Rodrigo attacks Cassio. Cassio responds by assaulting Rodrigo back, and Iago slits. I wrote kills, but he slits him in the calf. Cuts. I'm gonna write cuts because Iago cuts up Cassio, but Cassio remains alive. So then Iago circles back around the situation, right? So he tiptoes back around where the party's at. And he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And they raise a ruckus, and there's a big problem. So going to and I didn't record any of that. Okay, so what happens is they all start coming out and arguing. Amelia comes out, Montano comes out, some messengers come out, and they're all like, "Oh, what happened? What happened?" And Othello comes. I don't remember if Othello comes or not. But they're like, "What happened?" And Iago is just able to spin this story of this random dude. It happens to be my dude. Surprise, surprise. Not really. Rodrigo did it. Cassio's crazy. And then they get Cassio. And then. So things just go awry from there. And it starts to expose Iago a little bit. As far as his lies are all tangled up. And because he's told so many, they're starting to fall apart between people. So then we go to scene 2. Rodrigo ends up dying. So summation of scene 1. Rodrigo ends up dying. Cassio is still alive, taken off on a chair or stretcher. And then Amelia is on her way to go tell Othello what has happened. So in scene 2, it opens with Othello kind of talking to himself as Desdemona's sleeping in their bedroom. And he's like, "Dude, I don't know if I can do it. She's so good, but what she's done is so wrong." And then she wakes up, and she's sticking with her story that she's so innocent, which is true. And so then Amelia comes in and tells Rodrigo that Rodrigo's dead, and she tells her to confirm that Desdemona's actions with Rodrigo, because by this point in time, Desdemona is killed by Othello. Spoilers right there. So Othello kills Desdemona, and then Amelia comes in and says, "This is what's up." And so Amelia comes in, and then